Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me well. My name is Luis Alves. I am the FCTP manager of VOXReality project, and I'm very happy to be here today with you. Apologies that we are trying to fix the situation with the video. Unfortunately, I don't know why I'm unable to start the video. I hope this is solved soon. Well, starting without further delay, as I was saying, my name is Ana Luisa, and I'm happy to be here with you for this first webinar on VOXReality Open Call. Today with me we have a project colleague who is the scientific and technical coordinator of VOXReality, Yusuf. Welcome, Yusuf, and thank you for being with us. Before we move on, I would like to give you a note that we will record the webinar, and I hope you can agree on that and stay with us until the end. And please do use the question and answer box to leave your questions, and we will be happy to address them towards the end of this workshop. So welcome once again. I would like to start by sharing with you the webinar agenda of today. We will dive into the VOXReality technologies, and as I was saying, we have here the technical coordinator of the project, Yusuf Semerci from Maastricht University, and he will be guiding us through the technologies the project is offering. And finally, we will have an overview of the open call and its objectives. The most important part is the question and answers session that will follow after we give you some guidance through the open call process. Yusuf, should you take over?
Hello, everyone. Should I share my screen with the presentation of the technologies, or?
I think it's fine. We can move. I just change it. Okay for you?
Okay. So let me also open my video. I think it is possible now, right?
Yeah, super. Hey.
Hello, everyone again. So should we start with the VOXReality technologies now? Go ahead. So these are the objectives of the VOXReality project. So in the project, we would like to enhance natural communication in XR environments. And here we would like to improve human-human communication and also human-machine interactions. And for this, technically, we are developing NLP models. They are pre-trained. They will be publicly available. They will be optimized. They are already multilingual. And we are providing visually grounded and models that are knowledgeable of the domain-specific needs. And I will be explaining what do I mean by knowledgeable of the domain-specific needs and visual grounded. Can we go to the next slides? So these are our use cases in the project. We are integrating the technologies that we are going to present to you today and that you can see in the documentations that we provided in the open call documents. So we have a digital assistant where we have a conversation agent that is knowledgeable about the training that we would like to offer to trainees. This is an augmented reality application. The second one is a virtual reality application, which is virtual conferencing, where we would like to ease the communication between the attendees through subtitles. And also we have a conversation agent here as well that would be guiding the attendees throughout the venue. And in the third case, we have an augmented reality application where we would like to enhance a theater experience with subtitles and also visual effects triggered by speech of the actors. Can you go to the next slide? So this is the general overview of the technologies of VOXReality. So we are offering a automatic speech recognition, neural machine translation, visual language models, and conversation agent models. And they can communicate with each other through the arrows that you are seeing here. And then, as I said before, we have 3 applications. And then through these applications, we are connecting to the users. Can you go to the next slide? So in automatic speech recognition, I don't want to take a lot of your time with all of the details of these models. You can read them in the deliverables in the reports that we have shared. And also I will be answering your questions if you have specific ones. But to give you a, let's say, overview about these models, what we are doing with them, we put some key concepts about each model. So in automatic speech recognition, we are working on non-native speech. We have another model that has the capability of script alignment, especially for theater cases or rehearsed talks. And the models that we are providing are all multilingual. Can you go to the next slide? So we also offer a neural machine translation model. This is going to be, they are already context aware. So they take into account previous sentences and also external information that you can provide as a textual input. And they can disambiguate the ambiguous information in the sentences that you want to translate with this enhancement of context that we can integrate. And also we are providing another model that is enhanced for Greek literary translation, especially for cases like a theater where the language could be an ancient Greek literary text. So we are enhancing our models, and these models are also multilingual. And the third type of model that we are providing are visual language models. So here we have models that are capable of visual question answering. So you can have, you can input an image and you can ask questions about that image and it will give you textual responses. We also have image and video captioning. So they will generate captions for the images that you provide to the model. But these models are English only. So that's why you have these other connections there that you can use speech recognition to get the user's speech. You can translate that speech into English and you can feed the visual language models directly. Can you go to the next one? Yeah, so the final type of model that we are providing is conversation agents. Here we are offering 2 different models. One is for navigation instructions. That is the one that I talked about when I was presenting virtual conference. So you can have a model that knows the venue and helps the users with navigation. The other one is a training assistant, where it will help a trainee to go through a training session through conversation. So this model is capable of learning from manuals of certain assembly tasks. And again, these models are English only. And again, you can use the machine translation model to generate English responses from different languages of users. So back to you, Anna.
Thank you, Yusuf. Thank you very much. Let me just go back. Sorry. Yeah, so coming back to the open call and the key details that are important for you. We launched the open call the last 5th of April, and we will have it open until the 5th of June at the 5 CT. The call objective is to integrate VOXReality models into new XR applications, plus advancing immersive experiences across various sectors. And we offer 3 challenges, or we propose 3 challenges that very soon Yusuf will address and explain thoroughly the challenges that we propose. In terms of funding, we have 1 million euros to fund 5 projects, and we are offering a lump sum of 200K per project. If you are SME, this call is for you. You can apply either individually as a single entity or in a consortia of a maximum of 2 entities or 2 SMEs in this case. So regarding the challenges, Yusuf, you are the best person to address this. Thank you.
So we have 3 challenges. The first one is the integration challenge. Here we would like the applicants to integrate the VOXReality models to new XR applications. And for this challenge, we wanted to have these 3 aspects covered. So first is this one. So at least one of the VOXReality models should be integrated into an XR application. And we highlight here fully operational functionality. And you might know already that we mean by this software tests and all the load testing, unit testing are completed. So these applications are functional and ready for testing. They're ready for users, let's say. And we also would like you to prepare a scenario for user testing, including the protocols with at least 30 users, and also the tests of these application with these users themselves. And in the end, we would require a comprehensive report detailing the development, the software test results, updates, fixes that you did, and also the results of the user study in the end with these 30 users. The second challenge is the extension challenge. Here we would like to extend the capabilities of our models. So here again, we would like you to utilize at least one of our models as a pre-trained model. And then we would like you to provide a literature investigation on one of the selected tasks. So here you can choose one of them. And these tasks are either adding a new language and direction other than the languages that we are already providing. The second one could be that you can have new architectural components, integrate new architectural components to improve the performance of these models. Or in the end, you can say that I am going to use this model as a pre-trained model, and that I would like to give a new capability to this model with a new downstream task. So we would like to have a background information, benchmarks, and data sets that are related to one of these tasks. And then we want you to test the new model that you are going to develop against the benchmarks that you have identified, and present the performance of it. But also we would like to see what would happen after you improve these models. And if you test it against the original tasks of the VOXReality. So for example, if you add a new language, let's say that is Vietnamese, we would like to see what happens with the other languages that we already trained. Is it going to improve? Is it going to decline? We would like to see this result. And again, in the end, we want you to prepare a comprehensive report detailing all the developments, methodologies, the literature study, hyperparameters, and all the test results. And the third challenge is a full cycle challenge. So here, this is the combination of both with some, let's say, it is not a combination of the whole requirements of the both tasks, but we wanted to create minimal versions of it to create a single challenge where you can do both of these at the same time. So here we would like you to use at least one of the VOXReality models as a pre-trained model to enhance it. at least one of the VOXReality models to integrate into an application. This could be the same model. So you can choose one pre-trained model, and then you can create a new version of it with the new language, let's say, and then you can integrate that model into an application. Again, we would like to see an investigation of the literature on the selected enhancement task. This task is the same as before, so you can choose one of them only. We want to see user tests with 5 to 10 users. Sorry, can you go back quickly? We would like to see 5 to 10 users this time, not 30. And also we would like to see the benchmark comparisons again. And again, everything in a report at the end. So back to you again, Anna. Thank you.
Thank you, Yusuf. Well, coming back to the open call administrative topic, we would like to inform you that the timeline is as you see it. So we will, as I said before, we have the call open since the 5th of April and will be launched until the 5th of June. Deadline is at 5 CET. After we close the call, we will start the evaluation and selection of the 5 projects that we aim to award. And we expect to announce the winners in June, following by contracting period. And finally, we will start the program in July. That's how we aim to launch the new projects in July, and they will be running for a period of 12 months, 1 year that you will be with us. How can you apply for VOXReality Open Call? First of all, you are strongly advised to read the Open Call 1 guidelines that you can find in the project website. The Open Call guidelines gives you a comprehensive detail of the full terms and condition of the call, and as I was saying, it's available in the project website. Please do read it and let us know if you have any questions towards the end. Then we move to the second step of this of your application. So to prepare your application, you should create a page of your company in F6S platform. Is through the F6S platform that we are receiving the applications for this VOXReality Open Call. You have the VOXReality pipeline here. So yeah, there you will find a form to fill in with all the information from your company, from your entity, from the project teams, and also to send you as the annex to that should include the technical proposal of your project. Later in you will have to submit your application. As I was saying, please have a look once again at this Annex 2 technical proposal template. It's very important that you are well familiar before you submit your application, and upload a complete PDF of your project according to the guidelines that are provided in the Annex 2 technical proposal template. Other documents that are important that you read are all available in VOXReality website. We strongly advise you once again to read the guidelines for applicants and see the supporting annexes of these guidelines for applicants. You have the application form that is a document that compiles the information that you will need to provide us via the F6S platform. You also have the Annex 2 with the proposal technical annex, as I mentioned to you. Finally, we also provide you all the documents that you might need in case you are awarded later on. So get familiar with the sub-grant agreement and also with the declaration of owner that you may need to submit to us in case you are selected, as well as the SME self-declaration and a bank account information that will be important for us to conclude the contractual procedure of this call. Important also to note that you should check whether your entity is eligible for the call, and we strongly advise you to check the qualification criteria in these two documents provided by the European Commission, where you can see all the guidelines that regarding the SMEs eligibility for the call. And now I'm really happy to open this question and answer session, and going straight to the first one we received from Daniel Monaco. What do you mean by non-native speech in ASR module? Would you like to answer this, Yusuf?
Yes. So by non-native speech, we are referring to the robustness of the model. So the ASR model is trained with both clean and noisy data, grammatically noisy data, to offer transcriptions that are robust against grammatical errors. So this is done on the languages that we are providing.
Cool. Next one from Stefan. Once models are integrated, is there an agreement to sell? Yusuf?
I don't understand completely what is the agreement to sell, but if I understand it correctly, let's say, if the models are integrated into an application, the commercialization of the application should be done with the entity in the VOXReality that developed that model for individual agreements. But this is going to be done through, again, VOXReality channels. So it is not going to be you directly contacting the company or the institute, research institute, but it is going to be done through VOXReality channels.
Thank you, Yusuf.
I think this answers.
Definitely. We have an answer from an anonymous. Should our application aim for a budget of 200K, or are projects with a scope of 150K, 150K also welcome? I will answer this one. We aim to fund 5 projects with a lump sum of 200K. So our aim is to fund those projects with each of them with a lump sum of 200K. So your project should be covering the budget of total amount 200K. From Danielle, we have an extension challenge. Could be something like an AI trained to do text-to-speech work, or is it out of topic?
This could work. This might be considered as a new capability to the models. So since the models are able to understand, let's say, certain representations of languages, you can use the encoder part of it. I'm going to talk a little bit technically here, but you can use the encoder part for the speech or the, let's say, language understanding, and then you can create a decoder that would convert the text to speech, which wouldn't be out of topic, and it would be actually one of it would be a good way to show the capabilities of the models to be retrained for new tasks.
Thank you, Yusuf. From Diogo Pinto, thanks for the information. Can you please give examples of XR applications you are looking for the integration and full cycle challenges?
Can we?
Just a little bit of inspiration, no?
Yes. So, I mean, this is why we actually presented the applications that we are doing. So this could be a new field, and you could do the same thing. So, for example, we have a virtual conference. You can do a virtual meeting instead of a conference. You can do a social setting for that, for example. Or we have a theater play. Maybe it might be interesting to do a tutoring session instead of a theater where someone is explaining something it could be a combination of the training and the theater play where someone is tutoring someone or mentoring someone. So this could be also an interesting case. And it could also be industrial applications, as long as the language integration, speech, text, translations, or a conversation agent that would help the users would also be good candidates for these XR applications, I think.
Well, thank you. Any specific distribution of the 5 prizes per challenge category?
I think this is for you to answer.
I really have difficulty to understand this question. Any specific distribution of the 5 prizes per challenge category? I'm sorry, I'm really not clear on what do you aim with this question. But Yogo, I guess later we will have the chance to open live question and answer. So you please address this question once again, and I'll try to answer. From Stefan, when are the granting paid up, beginning or end of the program? Stefan, we will have 3 moments for to pay the full amount that we proposed, those 200K. They are linked with 3 sprints of the project's implementations. If you see the guidelines mentioned there will be 3 sprints, and after each of the sprint, the projects will be evaluated per performance, given the milestones and KPIs defined per project and with your mentor. And after that, we will be paying a percentage of the total amount. Another question here, if I would like to introduce agronomic terminology into speech recognition in a specific language for agriculture use case, is this can be considered an improvement of the model?
Yes, definitely. It's an interesting case.
Definitely. Thank you, Yusuf. Another question, would it be possible suitably secured by NDA to carry out tests on the models made available by VOXReality? We know that the applicants selected to participate in the VOXReality open call will be granted access rights to specific resources and facilities necessary for the development and demonstration of the project itself. Software tools, hardware devices, datasets, APIs, and other relevant resources. But a preliminary test would be indispensable in order to fully understand the functionalities and performances, and thus to indicate suitable KPIs. What do you think?
Yeah, for this, I can answer like this. So we are working on opening the models as soon as possible. So the current steps that we are taking is to, in the coming days, is to open a testable versions of the models, not the models themselves, but some Dockers that you can use to test the models for this purpose. So this is an upcoming thing that we are already working on. And we will inform you through the open call channels, I think, right?
Yes, thank you very much. From David, in the PDF definition and analysis of VOXReality use cases version 1, for example, in 6.3 training assistant, there are components mentioned like ASR component, DA component, VL component, where can find explanation to these. I think you show them on one of your slides.
So these are in the documents. There are 2 versions of the reports. The work package 3.1, the deliverable 3.1, and the deliverable 4.1 are explaining how these are integrated, what they are, how they work, and at least the initial results of these models and these components. So you can find where they are, not how they work, what they are, how we will provide them, and you will see in the work package for deliverable, the deliverable 4.1, how we integrated them into our use cases. So it is in the links in the documentations.
Thank you. Later on, we will also be sharing the slides from the presentation of today, and you can revisit them. From Laura now, is there a licensing agreement, example, IP licensing? Let's answer this together, Yusuf.
Sorry?
Is there a licensing agreement, for example, an IP licensing?
So this is the actually thing that we are working on to release the models to be tested. So they are going to be licensed, but they are going to be open source license. So what I can say is that they are going for research and for using in non-commercial cases, they are going to be open. As I said in the beginning, if there needs to be a commercialization in the end, then this is something that we will do after the open call development phase is finished and the reports are submitted. We can then talk about, we will then do rounds with commercialization of the applications in the end.
Thank you. From Dimitris, will we have access to the models through Hugging Face and some repository?
Yes. So in the beginning, we will give you the access to the endpoints that we developed as an API through Docker Hub. But when you are working on your applications, when you are funded, you will have access to the Hugging Face models, and also you will have access to the repository where we use to develop the APIs and also the inference through these models.
Fantastic. If we apply in the integration challenge, what are the tweaking capabilities do we have in regards to the models?
So in the integration challenge, we would like to use the models for using them in a new capability, in a new application. So ideally, we don't want the models to be changed for this challenge. But if you want to change the models, tweak the models somehow, then that is the full cycle challenge, and you can apply for that one if you want to change some capabilities of the model.
Thank you. Is it accepted if we respond to the integration challenge for virtual conferencing?
This I cannot give a answer myself. I think this depends on what is the difference that you are going to offer for a new virtual conferencing, and it depends on the reviewers what they think is going to be different. What are the aspects of it that is going to be different from our use cases? I think. Exactly,
it has to do with the innovation your project is bringing to our VOXReality. Can you elaborate on the neural machine translation model, Yusuf?
In what way? I mean, if it is technical details that you would like to hear about, you can check the links in the forms, in the reports that we published. There we are explaining the technical details of all the models that we are going to release.
Once again, Diogo, if we still have time, raise your hand and address all the questions. We will be happy to answer. From Danielle, a full cycle challenge could be a text-to-speech module plus an XR app that uses such model and one of the existing ones, SR and CA.
Absolutely.
That's final answer. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Also, we'll have access. We will have access to the costume datasets through a repository. I guess we already answered this. So yes, you will have access to the datasets via the repository repository, as Yusuf was saying. As soon as you are awarded, and you will be offered a mentor to follow your implementation, you will be guided through the repository datasets. Can we use a freelancer to help develop us? This has to do with subcontracting, and subcontracting is not allowed in the VOXReality open call implementation. So our answer to this would be no, if what you mean is subcontract additional resource to the team. Is there a specific request on the history of the applicant SME? Do you accept SMEs which will be funded during May, for example? If the SME has no employees yet because it's young, can this affect the evaluation? Definitely, this one is for me. Regarding the SMEs, once again, we strongly recommend that you read the guidance documents that we mentioned in the guidelines for applicants, and we also mentioned them today, that you can see whether you are eligible or not. We do not know exactly the terms of your companies. That's why it's so hard for us to give you a clear and proper answer on this. Strongly advise you to read thoroughly the documents, and if you have any doubts, please address them to us via the discussion pipeline in F6S, or by any other means. We will have other opportunities as well for as a new webinar coming up, so we will be happy to address. Do you have an API to connect with the VOXReality components? Which protocol languages?
As I said earlier, the API details can be found in the reports that we have shared in the documentation. But shortly, we have an API that is developed through Python. It is based on Fast API framework, and they will be provided if you are going to use directly the models as a API and only going to do integration, then you can use the Docker versions of it, and they are ready for endpoints. And we are offering both HTTP and HTTPS versions of them. And if you need to change something, or if you are applying for the other two challenges, then you will have access to both the model and also the APIs and the inference codes to apply it to your own applications.
Thank you, Yusuf. Are the following examples valid extensions of the capability of the models? Fine-tuning a conversation agent with DPO or SFT to better align it to the final application. Adding, for example, a mixture of experts approach and retraining on the original data. LoRa fine-tunings. Implement a RAG setting in order to use your model in many contexts without retraining.
I would say they are valid, but again, for these, I would say that I am not the one that is going to decide on whether they are going to be enough. This is going to be the reviewers, but I would say they are valid extensions normally. But the power of them, whether they are enough to fund the whole project, this is depending on the application, not application, but the application form that you are going to prepare, the proposal that you are going to prepare, and the comments of the reviewers on that.
Thank you. Can we have more information on the architecture of each type of model in order to try and think of architectural improvements we could add?
Again, these are already available in the documentations that we provided. You can read the details there.
Is VOXReality a private company, a public company, an economic interested consortium funded by you? In this case, which ones? VOXReality is a project funded by the European Commission under Horizon Europe program. So yes, we are funded by the EU, and it's through the project that we have this financial support to third parties, the so-known cascade funding, and from there we have an available 1 million euros to distribute to 5 new projects, new entities who will further extend and validate the models that we have and the technologies that we have been here talking about. In regards to licensing, after the first reply of Yusuf, we understand that licensing for commercial exploitation will be subject to the agreement of all partners of VOXReality. Therefore, it is not assured.
I would say in the form in the guide for applicants, we are talking about the IPR and licensing in terms of the applicants. And as I said earlier, in terms of commercialization, this is something, since you have the IPR, you are, of course, assured in a way that you can commercialize the outcomes. But for the licenses that we need to use, this is also something that European Commission also puts some guidelines on this. These agreements need to be done after everything is prepared and a commercialization guides and commercialization, let's say, contracts are prepared, then this can be done. Unfortunately, we cannot say that this is the contract that we will sign now and that you can directly commercialize it. This is something that needs to be done after everything is finished with the funding that we are providing for the open calls. Is this enough, Anna?
Yes, I was just thinking how comprehensive was your answer. Thank you for that, Yusuf. Do you provide GPU computing in order to use and fine-tune models, or are the costs covered by the 200K?
We do not provide GPU computing. We will not be providing hardware. We will only provide the models, inference codes, the API codes, the optimization tools, and the guidelines for integration. But I don't know about the cost covering the hardware in the 200K. Maybe you can answer that one, Anna.
Yeah, well, your project should or should take into consideration all the expenses that you might need to implement the projects. So if that's the case that you need GPU computing, you should consider as part of the cost associated with the implementation, and yes, part of the 200K if that's the case of your project. Last question for now. What is the approximate size and latency of the models? These help us in understanding what kind of real-time application could be possible.
So I don't know exactly.
This is a tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah. But for latency, what I can say is that for the translation and automatic speech recognition models, it is less than a second. Definitely, this is something that we have tested. The good thing is that we started the pilots, our own use case pilots today. So we will have some actual results, some actual latencies from real life cases. And we will be informing through our channels about the initial outcomes of these. So you can find out about it there from the actual use cases. But if you want to check internally, as we said, that we are working on releasing the first versions of the APIs so that you can do pre-tests before the proposals. There also you will be able to see approximate sizes and latencies of the models yourself.
Super, thank you. Thank you, Yusuf. Another question. It is hard to be sure about the success of projects without knowing more. What happens if we present a project with KPIs we estimate, but once we get the models and the date, it becomes not feasible? Another hard question.
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess it has to do with the proposal and the project you bring, right? Your project proposal needs to be quite comprehensive. And you will be very well detailed. You will find a template that is it's guiding you through this process of building your project, addressing all the needs that your project will have, and to consider any risk deviation during the implementation of your 12 months project. It's hard for us to say that a project won't be feasible, because if you are awarded after you go through the evaluation process, is because you have a very strong project that was qualified to be awarded with the 200K. So not feasible after we close and contract your project, that's usually not an option. How does this sound to you, Yusuf?
Yes, the thing that I can add is that the models and the models and the data, or the capabilities of the models, let's say, that we are going to provide them before the deadline of the open call proposal submissions. And as I said, like we hope that it's going to be at most next week. So you will have time to check the feasibility of these, to estimate them better. This is the only thing that I can add to what you said.
Thank you. And that's very important and relevant for the applicants, because as more information as we can give to them, and especially with regards with the pilots that we are now holding, right? It's important.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any instructions provided for training the models?
We have details on how we train models in the documentation that we shared. You can check these deliverable 3.1 documents, where we explain step by step how the models that we are providing are trained. So maybe not instructions, but let's say a guideline might be there, not exact instructions.
Yes, exactly. Once again, reading the deliverables that we propose in the guidelines for applicants, it's very important for you to have a thorough understanding of the technologies and the architecture that we have in VOXReality, and the training models that we develop. For now, we don't have any other question. I will like to open the floor.
And there is one more. Sorry,
oh yes,
interrupting.
another one. No, it's okay. It's okay. Is there a way to look for a second SME to partner in the framework of the VOXReality, perhaps through F6S, perhaps through an expression of interest? Yes, there are ways we can provide you support, and you can look for other SMEs to connect with in the F6S page. My colleague is just typing you an answer, and we will be happy to guide you on that. Now, coming back to the live session that I would like to open, if you have any question, please raise your hand. We are opening now a live session of your questions. Please raise your hand. We are here to address your questions. No questions? Diogo, are you still with us? I remember that you had two questions that we were not able to understand them in full and answer them properly. If you are still online, would you like to answer? Yes, Diogo left. Any other question? Well, I think we can move, and I would like to inform you if you need more information about the open call, and if you want to connect with us and send us your hot questions that you need to have answered, please connect with us. Once again, please look at the important documents on the open call website, and also send us your questions directly in the F6S discussion panel of the VOXReality Open Call pipeline. We read and answer your questions very often. You can connect with us through that channel. And if you experience any difficulties during the submission process, please connect with the support at f6s.com, and we will be helping you through that. And I guess that's all. Thank you. Thank you, Yusuf. Thank you for being with me. Thank you, everyone that
Thank you,
joined.
Anna.
And see you in very soon, right? We have the upcoming webinar that we will soon also announce in our social media. Please stay tuned and keep coming to us, and we will be happy to read your applications. Thank you very much for today. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.